Okay, so when we're drawing solids, we have to sort of draw the part that we can't see behind us. So drawing a cube and a rectangular prism, there's a really good word, prism, you keep parallel edges pointing in the same direction. So that works really well if you're doing a cube. So I'll keep these ones parallel and these ones parallel. And a rectangular prism, the word prism means that it's got a base figure, and then from that we build up upon to make it 3D. So that's not a very good version of one, but that's an example of a prism. Really important word to know, prism. What's the difference between a prism and a pyramid? A pyramid comes to a point. And what's the fancy word for the point of a pyramid? Correct. It's an apex. So the apex is where all of those edges come together. We can name these pyramids, just like we name the prisms, after their base. This one has a triangular base, as you can see from this dashed line. We've got, I'll color in the base. And this one here has a square base, and I'll color in the square base. So the words prism and pyramid are really important words to know. So I'm really glad to see you highlighting this in your notes book. These ones have straight edges for their base. A cylinder and a cone, they have circles as their bases. So a cylinder, it has a circle at the base, and just like a prism, it has straight lines up to have another of the same, a circle on the top. Whereas a cone has a circle on the bottom, and all sides lead up together to that one point at the top. So when we draw these out, some of these are a little bit challenging to draw. So with some isometric paper, with some dot paper, it can make it a little bit easier for you to see where these parallels are. And you can see how they match up, so we get that design. Square and isometric dot paper can help to accurately draw solids. Drawings made on this dot paper clearly show the cubes that make up the solid. So I've got the top of my cube here, and I've got a side and another side, and I can see that on this dot paper. So we got to draw these solids. Are you ready? Here we go. So I've got to draw a cone, whoops, on plain paper. So I'm out there in space. What's the first thing you recommend I draw? The base. And what's the base of a cone? A circle. And notice how the circle is sort of coming in from the side. So I'm going to draw it as a little bit of an oval. Let's see how I go. Start here. And then really I want to dash through there because we want to pretend that that cone is a little bit translucent. So it makes us show a little bit of depth. Those little dashed lines are sort of, well, that's a little bit out of the way, and our brain can handle that. And then I'm going to use a point, and I'm going to connect my visible edge as well as I can. There you go. And you could probably do a better job with that. Now a solid isometric, that's this little Tetris guy. So what I'm going to do is sort of put him on an angle. There's more than one right way to do this. So I'm going to put him on a bit of an angle. Let's see, I'll put him on that angle. So I'm sort of envisioning that my bottom edge, which is this one, is here. And I've got 3 parallel lines to that. So I'm just going to make sure whatever I draw is parallel to that. And then next to that, I've got these 3 which are parallel with each other. So why don't I draw them like this? And then I connect these lines here. And I'm starting to see a shape. I finish off my top here. I finish off my sides here. And so now I've got the standy-uppy part. Well, I'm not sure exactly, like, where does this go? I'm not really sure. What I do know that these lines are all parallel, so I'm going to continue those lines for another 2. And then I can tell you that this one is going to be parallel with these ones. So that's going to come in like that, and that completes my drawing. It's a little bit sloppy, but I think you can see that it is the same drawing, and you can do this another way. You can approach this from a different angle. So you might want to do it in pencil and try it a couple different times, and there you go.